Well, good morning, and we hope you have your coffee ready because we are going to do a Q&A session here with Minnesota Camper. My name is John from Hilltop Camper and RV. We come to you on this July 3rd, 2025, early in the morning. So for those that are joining us live today, we wish you a very happy 4th of July weekend and a safe 4th of July weekend. But those of you that are interested in Jaycos, have Jaycos, want to know what's going on with Jayco, and a big kind of interesting question we're going to get to a little bit today too. Those tariffs, man. It's almost like a daily conversation you have to have in an industry like ours. And we're going to check in with the Jayco guys to see where tariffs come into the mix here, or if they do. So let's get to it. And representing Jayco on the travel trailer side, my guy John Miller. Representing Jayco on the fifth wheel side and the toy hauler side, we've got Matthew Chupp. Hello, sirs. How are you doing? Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, John.
Is it true, John, you're joining us from Minnesota?
I am up here in lovely Cross Lake.
Oh, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. How you enjoying it?
Had a great day up here yesterday. I stopped at the Brainerd store, did some training, and then come out to see Mike and Jeff up here. Went out to dinner with the family. It was nice. It was a great evening.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us, especially right before the holiday. So let's get to it. And Matt, we're going to start with you.
Great.
Let's start with you. Let's start with these the fifth wheels. We've got the different lines. You got the Eagle HTs. You got the North Points. You got the Pinnacles. You got the toy haulers as well. So the Seismic Luxury. Where do you want to start? What has gotten you most excited about what's different for 2026?
Well, John, that's really a tough question. Everything has gotten me excited. We've done some cool things this year. And I can start anywhere. Let's start at Eagles. Typically we start at Eagles. That's more of our first offering as far as price points. So let's start there. So we've had really good luck. We kind of had a hole in our product lineup for a little while as far as what we offer dealers, and we've really kind of filled it with this Eagle SLE fifth wheel, which is a lighter fifth wheel. We currently have two offerings, which is our 24 MLE and our 29 BHU. We've had or 28 BHU. We've had really good success with both of those. They've been really well received. The thing that has been the coolest thing about it is at Jayco we have a 2-year full-time RVing warranty that covers everything for the first 2 years, other than wear and tear, and then just like negligence type stuff. But everything else is covered. So in that price point, a lot of people are worried that what's the build quality going to be. That's why we step up with that 2-year warranty to let them know, hey, this may not have every single feature, but it's built to last and protect your investment. So without further ado, some things that have changed in that. We've changed overall some look on the Eagles in 2026. So we definitely have some interior enhancements. So you're going to see things like throughout the Eagle lineup, you're going to see things like bigger skylights in the shower, which is great, especially for the taller people, where you've got more headroom space. You're not cramped in a bucket where you feel like you got a bucket on your head when you're taking a shower. So that's been a good thing. We've also have a gold handle. That's when I grew up, John. I had the 12 coloring box.
Yes.
So I had gold. They're gold handles. For everybody else, they're champagne handles. So those look really good. It's probably the biggest upgrade interior wise as far as the overall look since I've been at Jayco. They look really good. It really has that high end look that people are increasingly looking for. So that's nice. We changed some backsplashes, things like that. Just kind of some overall separations from 2025. Some other things we did, we kind of modernized like our USB locations. Instead of having the old school USB A, we've moved to a USB C. And those are fast charging, which sometimes you plug into those USB chargers and it's like your phone will be charged in 11 hours, which is not great.
Right.
These are actually the rapid chargers. So they'll charge faster than most charging blocks that you have. So if you're used to just charging block on your phone, it'll actually charge faster than that. One of the things we did on our SLEs, we had a security peephole. That's now changed to a window on the entrance door. So that's a nice change. Other thing that we're doing is for our tire pressure monitoring system. So not only does our tire pressure monitoring system, not only do they monitor tire pressure, they're also going to give you an indication of the temperature of the tires. So they're a great safety option. And those are things that can be optioned from the factory. And some of my stuff, it's standard, like on our luxury, our North Points, Pinnacles, Seismics, they're going to be standard. Um, you can option them in the Eagles. They're a nice feature. Typically, the issue is it's always hard to work with the individual truck manufacturers like GMC, Chevy, Ford. They all have different infotainment systems. So we're partnering with a company. The brand is Spartan Link, and the Spartan Link, they're actually working with uh, Google Android in the uh, Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay, so that the app is actually going to pop up in Android Auto and CarPlay, so that you can actually access from your console, no matter what the manufacturer is of the truck, to be able to monitor your stuff there. So that is in the approval process, that app. And so we're expecting in a short amount of time that that's going to be available. So that's kind of a nice upgrade. And then the other thing that we've offered on our SLE package. So with Eagle standard, you get starting in 2025 standard, you get one solar panel on the roof. That's a 200-watt solar panel. It's got a 30-amp controller. So that's standard on all Eagle products. On the SLEs, you could uh, bring in an Overlander 1, um, but you couldn't bring in an Overlander 2. So in 2026, you can now bring in an Overlander 2 solar package. The nice thing about that is that it has two solar panels on the roof. It also will give you an inverter. So you'll have an 1800-watt inverter, and then we invert quite a few outlets for people's convenience. Those could also be extended at the dealership. You know, dealership does great things, especially Hilltop. Does
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are great. You're actually, I'll throw a shout out to Hilltop. Hilltop is actually one of their service department is actually one of the service departments that our customer service team will collaborate with. So that is, we've got a lot of Jayco dealers in the country. Um, Only a very few will have where Jayco's actually reaching out and saying, "Hey, what are you seeing?" It's just because of the experience that's in your service department, and so that's a big compliment. It's always hard to brag on yourself, so I'll brag on you when I can, John. So
Well, I've been in sales. We do a lot of that.
yeah, yeah, but it's always hard when you brag on yourself. It's always
Yeah.
people are like, "Ah, well, you're just bragging on yourself." So I always
Yep.
like to throw
I'm
you a
I'm
bone when
I'm
I can.
I'm fascinated by the meetings. Must be incredible at Jayco because every year, just about every product has a slew of improvements,
Yeah,
and just 12 months prior to that, you sat in a room and come up with improvements to an already really terrific product. Speaking of bragging about yourself, a
yeah.
terrific product, and it's just like wow, like the detail and the thought process that goes into it. It's like, what color should the door handle be in the bathroom?
Yeah, it's a lot, and we have. I'm glad you brought that up. So we actually have Stacy Stewart. She's our interior
Yep.
designer. So we hear a lot where, you need to have women design these things. You need to have a women's touch and a women's eye. So she's been great. Stacy's been in the RV industry for since the '70s. I don't know how she does that, John. She's only 35 years old, so I
Right.
don't explain that to us. But
Well, she
no, she's
certainly
been
doesn't
on.
design like she's in the 70s. She's somebody we talk about a lot because she's somebody that is at the leading edge of the entire industry.
She's absolutely amazing. And there's nobody that is more conscious as far as trying to make people happy, do her research, do her homework. And then she's got an amazing team. She's got Ruby and Elka as well. And so Stacy would not want me to invoke her name without talking about her team as well. She's very humble in what she does, but she does a great job.
Well, it's about
So
time we
she
get
gets,
their names on the furniture then, huh?
yeah, yeah, we could do that. We just put like little microscript
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, yeah.
So no, but they do an amazing job, and that's kind of where all that starts as far as the colors and everything there. But it is really a collaborative effort. And our product designers, what they're doing all the time is they're looking at customer feedback, listening for customer feedback. They go to a lot of shows during show season, which is, I think, a little bit unusual. You don't always have in this industry product directors that are out there, and they love to do it because they love to listen to customers to hear their feedback on product. They are also always lurking in Facebook groups. So they're seeing what people are saying, they're seeing what people are talking about, and it makes sure that they're really responsive to what people want. The other thing that is tough in this industry is when you do that, uh, I always said if you gave people everything that they want or every suggestion that ever came up, the campers would be $300,000 and
Yeah.
they would be 60 feet long.
Yeah.
So they have to do a good job of separating out and say, okay, what are most people going to want? And really hit those things that most people want, and then make the others possible, either via options, where somebody can option in something that maybe not everybody's going to use, but definitely things that people want. And then we also do prep for things that maybe only a few people want. So, for example, in our Eagle products, it doesn't come with a seat shower seat, um, but we do put in the shower surround, we put backer in there. So if somebody wants to add a shower seat after the fact, we do that. So that's part of that is just being in business. We've been in business for over 50 years. We've had
Yeah.
over 1 million customers. So nobody has had more feedback than Jayco on product. And so it shows in some of these features that
Well,
we've been able to add.
well, before we talk about some of the luxury models, I think we have to get to John before he passes out. Let's
Sure.
see.
Yeah.
I'm good.
John, let's start to. We talked about some of the. He talked about some of the lower price points. That's been a big change at Jayco the last couple of years too.
Yeah.
Some big time lower price points on the travel trailer side. Done very well for everybody. For the dealers, they've sold them. The customers gotten a lower price point, but as Matt alluded to, there's still the quality of build, which might be a little bit different if we can humbly brag over some brands, right? So when we start with that, your SLXs and the sports, what are some changes that we're seeing here?
For 2026, because we just launched that sport edition this last year, we're not doing very many changes to that one itself. What you got up there on the screen, the 175, that's just a regular single axle SLX.
Right.
So what you're seeing in these screenshots here is the new interiors, new exterior actually that's got our hung fiberglass option on it. We removed the gray stripe on the exterior of it, basically gave it a blank white slate, and then put new graphics on the outside to help fill up that space and make it look more modernized. Interior wise, you're seeing a new cabinet design. It is a shaker style cabinet still like we had last year, but just a new door and drawer design this year. Still hardwood face doors and drawers, which at this price point and this size is not something that everybody is doing. We do offer enclosed underbelly on this SLX single axle. It's not something we do offer on the sport package though. We for the sports, like you were saying, that new model we just came out with last year, we just got an updated stat report actually from Matt Fisher, our product developer for J-Flights. Just got that yesterday or the day before, and it was really fascinating. We are almost in our single axle world, the sport edition is selling almost 2-to-1 to our regular single axle, which is exciting in the fact that we knew that there was a demand for that more entry-level trailer, that more entry-level price point of a trailer. I don't know that we quite knew it was going to be that to that extent.
Or you're the only one out there among all your competitors offering the 2-year warranty. Is that correct?
At that size of a trailer, for sure. Yes.
Yeah. That's a pretty big deal.
You're still getting all of the build quality, the building points of our big full-fledged J-Flight stuff. It's just at a smaller package per se.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I ever went in one, I noticed there are fewer lights. Right, that's just kind of an example of something that you got to pull from somewhere, and I think I'd rather have it pulled from the amount of lights than I would from the quality of the product going down the road.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that we always talk about, that we're not willing to put the quality of the build, in our warranty on the side burner just so we can sell a less expensive trailer. We're not going to do that.
All right, what's got you really excited?
Oh man, for 2026, we've made some really good changes to Jayfeather for 2026. Got some new floor plan we're working on right now. Actually, we're still, as you said, continuously improving. We got a new interior in Jayfeather. We're going to a little bit of a light gray cabinet color. I know, Matt, you're using that as well. I heard that you guys are stealing some of our stuff. That's okay.
See, in the RV world, you got to understand, even when they're on the same team, they're still against each other a little bit.
So, it was, and this one was due to some customer feedback stuff, is they wanted to see something other than white cabinets. So we're going with a light gray. It's called Dune Gray. Right, Matt? Dune Gray.
Yeah, you'll see that in our North Point product.
Yeah, see, he's taking North Point. He's putting our feather stuff up in North Point, and that's
during this travel trailer portion, I'm going to show this North Point so we can see those colors.
It's a great segue though into how we work as a company, because we're talking about a travel trailer and our second highest level of a fifth wheel, and we're using the same stuff on the inside of both.
Yeah. It's interesting. You said going away from the white. White had a good run, man.
Jayfeather though. Jayflight is still white cabinets, as you saw in the pictures.
Okay, it's been very, very popular. White, everything's gotten more white, and so now it's starting to eke away a little bit. It's interesting to see.
But like Matt was talking about with Stacy and Ruby and them, is they're always monitoring housing markets. They go to home shows, and it's still wildly popular there. So, until we start to see that trend move away, I really doubt you're going to start to see it move away from Jayflight, because Jayflight is a huge part of our business. While
we're on this North Point, Matt, anything you want to say about it? New for 2026?
Yeah, we've got quite a few upgrades for 26 on the luxury side of things. So we're going to a tankless water heater. We're going to a Suburban tankless water heater. That's now standard on all the luxuries. And when I talk about North Point and Pinnacle are kind of brothers and sisters of each other. So there's a lot of options that'll be similar to both. North Point actually adds on quite a few options that used to be standard on Pinnacle, and now it's in the North Point as well. For example, North Point has day-night shades as well in the front section. It has the big shower tower. I always joke that if you want to go through your fresh water tank in one shower, you can do it now with that big shower tower. But people do like that residential shower. So that's a nice change that we've added on. We also added solid surface countertops in our bathroom, which we didn't have before on North Point, and now we've added solid surface countertops there. We've got larger TVs going in. There's actually a lot of stuff that's sometimes I go through the enhancement sheets and I highlight some of it, and the rest of the stuff is, it'll just kind of work itself out. It's just kind of typical changes. But we've got some larger TVs. That's a nice touch. Again, just like with Eagle, we've got larger skylights in our bathrooms. We actually, in some of our rear kitchen floor plans, which has become really, really popular, our Pinnacle 38 FBRK has been absolutely a rock star as far as floor plans go. That's a rear kitchen. We'll have a lazy Susan in the corner of those kitchens, which you don't see in RVs. So that's kind of a cool thing. We're also going to have in our Pinnacle, there'll be a pull down magnetic utensil tray from the overhead cabinets. So that's a nice thing. We've also got a new ottoman.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Matt. Is that over the sink?
That's beside both sides of the sink.
Okay.
Both sides, there's a magnetic pull down on that rear kitchen.
Cool.
You're going to have to interrupt him. He's going to keep going.
That's true.
John,
that's true.
Jealousy looks ugly on you in the morning.
Well,
so the other
if fireworks start going off in the back, if we see some fireworks in the back, we know we've gone too long.
That's later. That's later. One of the other things you had in your 382 that you showed, we've got a storage ottoman, and that top will come up. We've had a lot of people say they want workspace workstations to kind of work off of. So if you go to the one that was with the ottoman, you're going to see that that will actually lift up, and you can actually use it, put your laptop on it, kind of use it as a portable workstation. So that's a nice thing we've done. We increased slide room heights, and we have larger living room windows. I'll keep it there at the highlights, but there's a lot of cool things in both North Point and Pinnacle that we've done. Uh, there you go. There it is. So that top, you can see it's kind of off center a little bit, but you can pull it up, and then it's a nice little workspace. If you want to use it as a TV tray, you could do that too. So we've done some cool things. And then on the seismic side of things, do you want to hear seismic, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
to,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's lead into that, and then John, I'll wrap with you here.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'll be done there as far as
So
overall our
plan on
changes.
something real good, John. Big bang
There
finish.
you go.
I've got
Yeah.
it. I've
Yeah,
got
there
it.
you go. Good. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, so some cool things that we did with Seismic. We used to do 15K ACs in Seismic. So we do up to three. We've actually gone to the 13.5 BTU ACs that people might think, well, why would you do that? The great thing about those ACs is you can run all three. So a generator is standard on the Seismic. You can run all three ACs off of the generator on the Seismic, which is a huge thing. I don't know if anybody else in the industry is able to talk about that, but we're able to do that. We did it in the back half of 25, and we're not carrying that over to 26. That's also going to a tankless water heater, so that's a nice touch. We actually the ramp doors in the back, so your back ramp door, we had some problems. That's could be a challenge for some people as far as its heaviness. We've actually got a spring assist ramp patio that's going to make that basically like a zero gravity type of a
Cool.
door. It's going to be very easy to move up and down. We've moved to GE appliances. We've upgraded the sound system. We've upgraded the speaker system. We've also done our Olympic Queen up front. If we have a north-south bed, so a bed that is oriented with the camper. The other thing that we've done is on some of our popular floor plans, we've actually added a bed slide. So like our 395 has been our best seller. It's got a 14-foot garage. People love the layout. That will now have an east-west bed. So you're going to have a bed slide, and you're going to have a front wardrobe. Our side patio
Cool.
4113, which was our number one seller forever. People love those side patios. That's now going to have a 14-foot garage. So that's a big addition. Our 399, which we came out with last year, that's going to have a king bed as well. We could just do a queen bed on the slide before. Now we're going to have a king. And then last one, at least, well, it's a couple things. One actually came from Hilltop, inspired by Hilltop. Kevin Struz at Hilltop. All of our lofts will now be accessible from the garage area. So we'll add storage, or if you've got kids in the loft, they can all be in the same room. That was inspired by Kevin Struz. So
Good. So you can shut
kudos
up about that now. Is that
kudos to Kevin. Yeah, kudos to Kevin for that. And the other thing is, we're going to have, if we do have some floor plans that have the bath in the garage, those walls are now going to be collapsible, and we're actually going to have a fold down sink, space saving sink. So you're going to be able to use more of that garage space and get the half bath. So, and
cool?
we got 5 full body paint colors as well. And then a new graphics package on Seismic. So really exciting stuff. And Seismic's done really well. We're the number one fifth wheel in the beef of the market, which is typically it's something you're going to buy that can range from 95,000 to 110,000. So we've done really well in that market. Obviously, it depends on options, how you've optioned it, but yeah, that's really excited about Seismic and our luxuries.
Wow. Match that, John. But before you do, though, we talked about bragging for ourselves. We don't have to do that because we've got Sky. Oh, thank you, Sky. We appreciate that. All right, John, what else you got for 2026?
Yeah. So, changes for the J Flight SLX lineup and our double axle stuff. We just ran our first run of a new 250 BH Sport model. So it's another entry level price point trailer. but it's a tandem axle and it's got double over double bunks in the back. So this is going to be a
Cool.
real, I guess what I would call it a price sensitive trailer, but a lower price point entry level into getting a full size family trailer, instead of just a single axles.
Are those double over double bunks still 600 pounds?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, I
Yep.
love that because, it's so many of these. It's great. Yeah, it's great for the kids, but come on, man. We like to have a little fun too. You might want to bring your friends along. Couples can stay in those bunks.
The keyword is might, I believe there.
Yes. That's right. That's
I like
right.
to encourage people to have their friends buy another trailer as well.
All right. Great to hear from you, John. No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
You've got the floor.
Moving on to, the regular J-Flight stuff based on customer feedback of the last couple of years. Enclosed heated underbelly is standard for 2026 in our double axle J-Flights. We also added a medicine cabinet back into those trailers. We had this, as you know, we had offered it in our full-fledged J-Flight line a couple of years ago. And then they went away when we transitioned into making everything in SLX. So those two features are back in as standardized items. They were part of the Elite package in J-Flight last year. So the J-Flight Elite package has lost a couple items, but in the way we do things, we said, okay, we've removed two things. Let's put two things back in, right? So we're looking at, we added doors back into our dinettes for easier access to that storage space. We also reframed out the windows in the living areas of the J-Flights, how we do the wood framing around the windows to really dress those up. So that's all back in for 2026. We added in a new pull-out faucet design for 2026. And we added this new LED light strip on the very front of the trailer. So that transition from where the rock guard on the bottom meets the fiberglass wrap on the front, right there on that transition, they'll see a new blue LED light
Sweet.
attached. Yeah, it was some good stuff for that package. So we still have the Elite package. So we've got a couple different ways to dress up a J-Flight, whether you want it in metal or you want it in the fiberglass sides.
Super cool. All right. Now, I did promise that we'd talk about tariffs, right? So let's talk about them. We had an interesting conversation with Mike Pirro, our owner, I don't know, maybe even almost 2 months ago when this kind of first was coming about. And as we know, 2 months is a long time in the tariff world. So as we sit here, by the way, before I get to that real quick, 2026s are arriving on the lot now. We have many on order, so you will see these very soon if they are not here today. But how are they being affected by tariffs, guys? Who wants to be lucky enough to start with that? Matt, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll start with that. So you heard John and I list all of the enhancements, and there's some I didn't even get to, believe it or not, between 25s and 26s. So typically every year, just depending on the market, we're very responsive at Jayco to the market. So most years you're going to add enhancements, you're going to make the product a little bit better. There's going to be a little bit of a bump as far as price increase. And so that was our approach at Jayco. We had a typical, due to the enhancements, the 26s, there is a little bit of a bump from the 25s, and that's a pretty natural thing. When we looked at tariffs as a corporation, as a company, we've got our leadership, I think, did the most responsible thing. Jayco's, like I told you before, Jayco's been around for over 50 years. We're in the long game. We're not in the short game. And so we looked at how do we best weather this storm with our partners, with our customers. And so the way we've been approaching it is as we're kind of as they come approach. So tariffs to this point have only mildly affected us. There's been only a very small increase as far as pricing goes. It's had a very small effect. And we're constantly, our purchasing teams are constantly working with suppliers. And I think the idea is that a tariff is going to make it all the way down to a customer 100%. And that's really just not that's not how things work. It's absorbed along the way in various points by the people actually selling the products to us, to Hilltop. So it's definitely a concern. Tariffs are definitely a concern, and what I'm telling you is an in the moment thing. But we really at Jayco are looking at this as a partnership with our dealers, and we're just trying to weather the storm. We're not taking the approach of, hey, we're going to increase our product X amount of money, and if tariffs don't have that much of an impact, then we're just going to profit off that. That's not the approach that we took. We took the I think the ethically responsible approach of we're going to take it as they come. We're going to weather the storm with if it ends up being a storm. Right now, like I said, the impact has been very minimal uh, to our end products. So that's how we're going to take it. We're going to take it one step at a time, and we're gonna make our way through it. If there's more things that come down the road that affect the price, then we'll react to that. But right now, it really hasn't had a huge effect on our pricing.
And John, to be clear, the campers themselves, if folks don't know, are made in the good old USA in a great region of northern Indiana that has a lot of prideful RV makers there, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically 85% of our industry is built in a 30-mile radius. It's at right where Matt and I live and come from, have grown up. We've got a lot of people around there that it's their livelihood. So we do take a lot of pride in what we do down there.
Can't imagine getting together for sports games. like all the competitors come together and I guarantee your kid, like kids are on the competitors team and all the, other kids team and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of that interaction, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think to John's point, the great thing about it is it's still a place in this country where we still have the American dream where, people in our factories work hard. They come in and put in a great day's work, and they're able to put a good living together, manufacturing for their families. And it provides them some economic mobility. So it is a great, made in the USA. It is that great American dream story.
Well said. Great to end on. And we're buttoning up right against the 4th of July. So perfect from that front as well. So guys, thank you very, very much. And thanks for all that you do. You do a great job. They work tireless schedules. These guys do, where they're all over the country. I feel like they're good friends of mine, but that's how everybody around the country feels about these guys, because they feel like they see them all the time, and it's not easy for them to accomplish that. They have to be a lot of places at a lot of times and go away from their families and things like that. So we appreciate it, guys, especially early this morning. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, John.
Thanks, John.
People need this information, and people are hungry for it. So I'm glad you guys are providing it. It's a big service to the industry. So we thank you for that.
It's our pleasure. And go ahead, John, do you have something else?
I appreciate you having us on. I hope you have a great 4th of July. I'm just going to pack up, and unfortunately I have to leave your state here in a few hours and fly back home.
That's right.
Come on back, John. Come on back.
That's right. All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. You can go check out Hilltop Camper and RV. Find yourself a 2026 Jayco. Still got some 25s left too. You can take advantage of maybe some good deals there as well. Before these price increases, Matt was talking about tariff related or not tariff related. Still got some 2025s left as well. Alexandria, Brainerd, Fridley, and Rochester. Go to hilltopcamper.com. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, John.